My child, stop for a moment and listen carefully. Do not rush past this message, and do not let your mind wander away from what I am about to say. Open this now before it disappears, because this moment was not placed in your life by accident. You may think you simply came across these words while scrolling through your day, but I tell you the truth. I arranged this moment. I guided your attention here because there is something I need you to hear right now. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is a divine interruption placed directly in your path. My beloved child, the world around you moves quickly. People scroll past thousands of messages, voices, and distractions every day, rarely stopping long enough to listen to what truly matters. But I am asking you now to pause. Do not skip this moment. Do not allow the noise of life to steal what I have prepared for you today. You may not realize it yet, but this moment is important. It is time-sensitive in ways you cannot see. I have placed this message before your eyes now because your heart has been searching, and the answer you need cannot wait any longer. I know what your days have felt like recently. I know the weight you have been carrying quietly inside your heart. I know the thoughts that have kept you awake at night and the questions that have followed you through your days. You have been wondering if anyone sees what you are going through. You have wondered if your prayers have truly reached me. Perhaps you have asked, even if only in the silence of your mind, Lord, are you listening? Do you know what I need, my child? I have been listening all along, and that is why I am speaking now. But before we go any further, I want you to do something simple. For a moment, close your eyes. Just for a moment. Do not worry about anything around you right now. Let the noise fade away, let the rushing thoughts slow down, and close your eyes with the quiet understanding that I am here with you. When you close your eyes, I will meet you there. You may wonder what that means. It means that when the distractions of the world fall silent for even a moment, your heart becomes able to hear my voice more clearly. I do not always speak in thunder or spectacle. Often I speak in stillness, in the quiet space where your spirit is open and your heart is listening. When you close your eyes, you are not entering emptiness. You are stepping into a place where my presence is waiting for you. My child, I want to speak directly to your heart today. Not to the surface of your thoughts, not to the voice of doubt that sometimes whispers to you, but to the deepest part of you where your true questions live. I know the longing that has been growing inside you. I know the hope you have been holding on to. I know the prayers you have spoken even when you felt unsure whether anyone was hearing them. And I want you to know something right now that will change the way you see this moment. I have urgent good news for you today. Yes, my child, good news. Not empty words, not vague comfort, but real hope that has already begun moving in ways you cannot yet see. The prayers you have spoken have not disappeared into silence. Haven't heard them. Every whisper of your heart reached me. Every tear that fell carried meaning. Every time you called my name, even when your faith felt small, I was listening. You may not have seen the answers yet, but that does not mean nothing has been happening. While you were waiting, heaven was already moving. While you were wondering if anything would change, I was already arranging what needed to be arranged. There are things unfolding in your life right now that you cannot fully see yet, but they are real. My beloved child, I know that waiting has not been easy for you. There were moments when you thought perhaps nothing would ever change. There were days when hope felt fragile and your patience felt exhausted. But the truth is that even in those moments, you were never forgotten. The movement of heaven does not always happen where human eyes can immediately see it. But today I want you to know that something is shifting. That is why this message is reaching you now. This is not just another moment in your day. This is an invitation. It is an invitation to listen, to receive, and to remain present long enough to hear what I want to reveal to you. Many people miss their miracles because they leave too early. They scroll past the moment meant for them because doubt whispers that it is not important. They allow distraction to steal the message that was meant to bring hope into their lives. Do not make that mistake now. Do not scroll away. Do not ignore what is happening in this moment. I brought you here because your heart is ready to hear what I am about to say. If you leave too quickly, you may miss the very word that answers the questions you have been carrying. I say this not to frighten you, but because I know how easily the enemy tries to steal what I am giving you. Distraction is one of the simplest ways miracles are missed. So stay here with me for a little longer. Let your heart remain open. Let your mind become still. The world will continue moving around you, but for this moment I want you to stay where you are. There is something important unfolding between us right now. I am speaking to you personally, not to a crowd, not to a distant audience, but to you. Say, I bow before you. My holy King, if you honor his great and mighty name. Yes, you. The one who opened this message. The one who has been searching for reassurance. The one who had been hoping for a sign. My child, you are not here by accident. I guided you to this moment because I love you, and because the good news I have for you deserves to be heard clearly. Close your eyes again if you need to. Take a slow breath. Feel the quiet for a moment. And know this truth deep within your heart. You were meant to hear this message today, and what I am about to reveal next will begin to change everything. My beloved child, listen closely to what I am about to say, because this moment carries more meaning than you may realize. You might think that you simply came across this message by chance, that you happened to open it while scrolling through your day, or that it appeared before you without any deeper reason. But I want you to understand something that your heart needs to hear clearly right now. This moment is not random. You are not here by accident. I guided you here for a reason. Before your eyes ever saw these words, before your mind even decided to open this message, I already knew this moment would happen. I knew the exact time you would arrive here. I knew the thoughts you would be carrying in your heart when you began reading. I knew the questions you have been asking, the quiet worries that have been sitting inside your mind, and the longing that has been growing deep within your spirit. And because I know you so completely, I arranged this moment so that you would hear what you need to hear right now. You may think that life is full of random encounters and accidental moments, but my child, when it comes to you, I am involved in more of your story than you realize. I see the paths you walk, the choices you make, and even the small moments when you pause to look for something that brings peace to your heart. Many of the moments you think are ordinary are actually part of a quiet guidance that I place over your life. I do not always guide you with loud signs or overwhelming displays. Often, I guide you gently through small movements, subtle nudges, and quiet impressions within your heart. The reason you opened this message today is not simply because it appeared in front of you. It is because something inside your spirit recognized that you needed to be here. Your mind may not have understood why, but your spirit felt the pull to pause and listen. That pull did not come from coincidence. It came from the quiet way I lead those whom I love. My beloved child, there are moments in your life when you feel as though you are searching for answers. You may not even be able to explain what you are searching for. Sometimes it is peace. Sometimes it is reassurance. Sometimes it is simply the hope that someone sees the struggles you are carrying. In those moments of searching, your heart begins reaching toward me even when you are not fully aware of it. And when your heart reaches toward me, I respond. That is why you are here now. You may have thought that you were simply passing time, that you were scrolling through messages without expectation, but I was guiding your steps even in that simple action. I saw the exact moment when your attention paused. I saw the instant when your eyes settled on these words, and I knew that this was the moment you needed to hear my voice. My child, I want you to understand how carefully your life is held in my hands. Nothing about you is insignificant to me. I know the small details of your life just as deeply as the large ones. I see the days when your heart feels hopeful and the days when it feels tired. I see the questions that remain unanswered and the quiet prayers you speak when no one else is around. Even when you feel unnoticed by the world, you are never unnoticed by me. The reason I guided you here is because your heart has been carrying something heavy. You may have tried to hide it behind a smile or push it aside while you continue with your responsibilities. But I see what others cannot see. I know the thoughts that come to you late at night when the world becomes quiet. I know the moments when you wonder if things will ever change, when you question whether the path ahead will become clearer. And because I know these things, I brought you here today so that you would hear this truth. You are not walking alone through this season of your life. My beloved child, the timing of this moment matters. You are reading these words now because your heart is ready to receive what I want to speak into your life. If you had encountered this message at another time, you may not have understood it in the same way. But today, in this exact moment, your spirit is open in a way that allows my words to reach deeper inside you. I arranged the timing carefully. I saw the struggles that have been building in your heart. I saw the questions that have been forming within your thoughts. I saw the moments when you quietly asked for guidance, even if you did not use many words. And because I heard those silent prayers, I prepared this moment as part of my answer to you. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because I love you enough to reach into your day and remind you that I am present in your life. Please support our channel. Our mission is to bring peace, happiness, and devotion to God into your life. If you wish to help us continue this work, you can kindly show your support by donating through Super Thanks. Sometimes you may feel as though your life is unfolding without clear direction, as though you are simply moving from one day to the next without knowing exactly where you are being led. But my child, I want you to know that even when you cannot see the path clearly, I am still guiding your steps. The same way I guided you to this message is the same way I guide many other moments in your life. I open doors quietly. I place people in your path. I lead your attention toward things that your heart needs at exactly the right time. My guidance is often gentle, but it is never absent. You may not always recognize it immediately, but when you look back on your life one day, you will see how many moments were carefully arranged to lead you where you needed to go. This moment is one of those moments. You are here because I wanted you to pause long enough to hear me speak directly to you. My beloved child, do not dismiss this moment as something small. What you are experiencing right now is part of a deeper connection between your heart and mine. I am reminding you that I am near. I am reminding you that I am involved in your life more than you realize. Even when you feel uncertain about the future, I know exactly where your path is leading. Even when your heart feels tired from waiting, I am still working in ways that you cannot yet see. The same care that guided you to this message is the same care that continues to guide your life. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are being led. Your spirit recognized the moment I prepared for you today, and that is why you stopped here. That quiet pull you felt to open this message was not random curiosity. It was your heart responding to my presence. And now that you are here, I want you to stay for a little longer and listen carefully. Because the reason I guided you here goes beyond simply reminding you that I am near. There is something more I want to reveal to you, something that will bring clarity and hope into the place where you have been searching for answers. So remain here with me, my beloved child. Let your heart stay open and your mind become still. This moment was prepared for you, and what I am about to speak next will begin to unfold the reason why I guided you here today. My beloved child, come closer and listen with the deepest part of your heart, because what I am about to tell you is something you have wondered about many times. There were moments when you felt as if your voice disappeared into silence, as if the prayers you whispered late at night faded into the darkness without reaching anyone. There were nights when you looked up toward heaven and asked quietly, "Lord, do you hear me?" You spoke those words not with pride, but with a heart that was tired, with a spirit that had been carrying more weight than you could easily explain. I want you to understand something clearly now. Heaven heard your quiet cry. Every prayer you spoke reached me. Every whisper that left your lips traveled farther than you imagined. Even the prayers that never became words, the ones that lived only inside your heart, were heard. I know that sometimes your prayers did not sound like long speeches or beautiful sentences. Sometimes they were simply a few broken words spoken through tears. Sometimes they were only a sigh, a moment of silence where your heart was crying even though your mouth said nothing. But my child, those moments were not invisible to me. There were nights when you cried in private, when you believed no one could see the tears falling from your eyes. You may have tried to hide those tears even from the people around you. During the day you carried on with your responsibilities, speaking normally, smiling when you had to, doing your best to appear strong. But when the quiet hours arrived and you were finally alone, the emotions you had been holding back began to rise to the surface. You remember those nights, do you not? The room was quiet, and your thoughts began to grow louder. Questions started moving through your mind, one after another. You wondered why certain situations had become so difficult. You wondered why the answers you hoped for had not yet appeared. Sometimes the heaviness in your heart felt so strong that you did not even know how to pray properly. All you could do was sit in silence, feeling overwhelmed, hoping somehow that I would still understand what your heart was trying to say. My beloved child, I understood every moment. I saw you when you wiped your tears away quickly, thinking that no one was watching. I saw you when your shoulders felt heavy from carrying worries you did not want to share with anyone else. I saw the moments when your voice trembled as you whispered my name, asking me quietly for help because you did not know where else to turn. Those moments mattered to me more than you realize. The world often teaches people to hide their weakness, to pretend that everything is fine even when their hearts feel broken inside. But when you came to me in your quiet moments, when your heart was honest and open even in its pain, those were the moments when your spirit was speaking to me most clearly. You may have asked questions like, "Lord, why does life feel so heavy right now?" Or, "Lord, will things ever change?" Perhaps you wondered if I truly saw what you were going through. You may even have wondered if your prayers were too small or too insignificant to reach heaven. But my child, not one of those prayers was lost. Every single one reached me. When you cried in private, heaven noticed. When you asked for help, heaven listened. When you felt overwhelmed and did not know how to keep going, I was there beside you even though you could not see me. There were moments when you felt as if you were standing alone in a storm. The circumstances around you seemed confusing, and the future ahead looked uncertain. You tried to remain strong, but inside you felt tired. You wondered how much longer you could carry the weight of everything that was happening in your life. My beloved child, I saw that struggle. I saw the courage it took for you to keep going even when your heart felt weary. I saw the strength you showed even when your faith felt fragile. I saw the way you continued to hope, even in the moments when hope seemed difficult to hold on to. Sometimes you believed that your prayers were too quiet to be heard. But let me tell you something that your heart needs to understand deeply. I do not measure prayers by how loud they are or how many words they contain. I listen to the sincerity of the heart. I hear the prayers spoken through tears just as clearly as the prayers spoken through confident voices. When your heart cried out, I heard you. When you whispered my name in the darkness, I heard you. When you asked for help with a trembling voice, I heard you. Even when you could not form words at all and your heart simply ached in silence, I still heard you. You must understand that heaven is never deaf to the cries of a sincere heart. The prayers you thought were hidden were not hidden from me. They rose up like a gentle call that reached my heart immediately. My child, there were also moments when you felt overwhelmed by the weight of your circumstances. Problems seemed to gather all at once, and your mind struggled to find peace. You tried to solve things, to plan your way forward, but sometimes the situation felt larger than your ability to control it. In those moments, you turned toward me even if it was only for a brief second. Perhaps you simply said, Lord, please help me. Perhaps you only closed your eyes for a moment and hoped that somehow I would intervene. Type Jesus, be my strength and my song if He carries you through every storm. I want you to know that I heard those prayers too. Not only did I hear them, but I cared about them deeply. Every time your heart reached toward me, I responded with love. Sometimes my response came in ways you did not immediately recognize. Sometimes it came through unexpected peace that touched your heart for a moment. Sometimes it came through strength that helped you continue even when you felt weak. My beloved child, you may not always see the answers right away, but that does not mean I am not working. The movement of heaven does not always appear instantly before human eyes. Sometimes it begins quietly, unfolding step by step until the moment arrives when you can see clearly what I have been doing. But one truth remains certain above everything else. Your prayers were heard. Your quiet cries were not ignored. Your tears were not wasted. Every moment you reached toward me mattered. I want you to feel comfort in this truth today. You are not invisible. Your struggles are not unnoticed. The things that weigh on your heart are important to me because you are important to me. You never had to shout for my attention. Your quietest whisper was enough. Even now, as you listen to these words, I am still near to you. I still see the thoughts moving through your mind. I still understand the emotions that sometimes feel difficult to explain. And I still care deeply about every part of your life. My beloved child, heaven heard your quiet cry, and heaven is still listening. My beloved child, I want to speak to you about something that has been quietly happening inside your life for a long time. There were days when you woke up already feeling tired, not just in your body, but deep within your spirit. You may have wondered why your heart felt heavy even when nothing obvious had happened that day. You tried to push through your responsibilities, tried to remain hopeful, tried to keep moving forward, yet there was a weight inside you that did not easily lift. Sometimes you ask yourself, why do I feel so drained? Why does my faith feel so tired? My child, the reason you felt that way is because you were not only dealing with ordinary problems, you were standing in the middle of a spiritual battle, even if you did not fully recognize it at the time. There are moments in life when the struggles you face are not only physical or emotional. There are moments when unseen forces attempt to discourage your spirit, to weaken your faith, and to fill your mind with thoughts that slowly steal your hope. The enemy saw the light that lives inside you. He saw the faith that has been growing in your heart, and he knew that if that faith continued to grow, it would lead you into the purpose I prepared for your life. Because of that, he began trying to discourage you in quiet ways. His goal was not always to destroy you suddenly. Often his plan was much slower and more subtle. He wanted to exhaust you. He wanted to fill your mind with doubt. He wanted you to feel so tired that you would eventually stop believing that anything good was still waiting ahead for you. My beloved child, that is why you experience so many moments of doubt. Doubt does not always appear loudly. Sometimes it slips quietly into your thoughts like a whisper. It tells you that maybe your prayers are not working. It tells you that maybe things will never change. It tells you that perhaps you have been hoping for too much. These thoughts can repeat themselves again and again until your heart begins to feel uncertain. There were days when you questioned whether you were strong enough to keep believing. You looked at the challenges in front of you and wondered if your faith was too small. Sometimes you even questioned whether I was truly working in your life. Those thoughts did not come from me, my child. They were part of the battle happening around your spirit. The enemy knows that if he can weaken your hope, he can slow down your progress. If he can make you believe that nothing will change, he can cause you to stop expecting miracles. That is why he tried to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. But even during those moments when doubt appeared, your heart did not completely turn away from me. Something inside you kept reaching for truth, even when your thoughts felt confused. Fear also tried to surround your heart. Fear has a way of making problems appear larger than they truly are. It whispers that the future is uncertain, that things may fall apart, that you may not be able to handle what lies ahead. Fear attempts to paralyze your spirit so that you hesitate instead of moving forward with courage. You may remember the times when fear kept you awake at night. Your mind imagined possibilities that had not even happened yet. You wondered about situations that were still far away in the future. The enemy often uses fear to create storms inside the mind, storms that make it difficult to see clearly. My beloved child, I saw those moments when fear tried to overwhelm you. I saw the nights when your thoughts kept racing and your heart struggled to find peace. I saw the way you tried to calm yourself, sometimes repeating small prayers, sometimes simply asking me quietly to help you feel safe again. And I was there with you. Even when your thoughts were confused and your emotions felt fragile, I remained beside you. The enemy may have tried to shake your confidence, but he could not remove my presence from your life. There was also another weight you carried during this season: emotional exhaustion. When someone fights many battles at the same time, their spirit can become tired. You faced challenges that required patience, strength, and endurance. You tried to remain strong for others. You tried to keep your responsibilities moving forward. Yet inside your heart, you sometimes felt like you had little energy left. My child, Emotional exhaustion often appears when someone hath been standing in spiritual battle for a long time. It is not a sign of weakness. It is simply the result of carrying many burdens without fully understanding why they appeared all at once. There were moments when you felt like giving up. Not in dramatic ways, but in quiet thoughts where you wondered if continuing to hope was worth the effort. You asked yourself if it might be easier to simply stop expecting anything good to happen. The enemy wanted you to reach that point. His goal was not only to create problems in your life, but to make you lose hope. If he could make you stop believing, you believed he could stop the future I prepared for you. But my beloved child, he underestimated something important. He underestimated the strength of the faith I placed inside your heart. Even when you felt spiritually tired, even when doubt and fear surrounded your thoughts, something inside you continued reaching for me. You may not have felt strong, but you kept praying. You may not have understood everything that was happening, but you still listened for my voice. That quiet faith inside you was stronger than the enemy expected. You did not give up. Even when you felt tired, you kept going. Even when doubt whispered, you continued searching for truth. Even when fear tried to overwhelm you, you still called my name, my beloved child. That perseverance is powerful. Spiritual battles are not always visible, but they are real. The enemy wanted to discourage you so deeply that you would lose hope in the future I have prepared for you. But he could not succeed because my presence hath been protecting you even when you did not see it clearly. The exhaustion you felt was not meaningless. It was evidence that you had been fighting battles in your spirit. And the fact that you are still here, still listening, still searching for my voice means that the enemy did not win. Now I want you to understand something important. The spiritual battle you have been facing is not the end of your story. It is part of a process that is strengthening your faith. Every challenge you have faced hath been teaching your spirit how to rely on me more deeply. Every moment when doubt appeared has been teaching you how to recognize truth more clearly. You may have felt tired, but your spirit was growing stronger. You may have felt discouraged, but your faith was being refined. You may have felt surrounded by darkness, but the light inside you never disappeared. My beloved child, the enemy wanted you to lose hope, but he failed. Your heart is still open, your spirit is still listening, and your faith is still alive. That means the battle has not defeated you. And now that you understand what has been happening, you will begin to see your life with clearer eyes. The spiritual warfare that tried to exhaust you will no longer control your thoughts the same way. Because now you know the truth. You were never fighting alone. My beloved child, now listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you carries the hope your heart has been waiting for. For a long time you have walked through uncertainty, through questions, through moments when it felt like nothing around you was changing. You prayed and waited. You hoped and watched. Sometimes you wondered if anything was moving at all. But today I want you to hear something clearly from my heart to yours. I have good news for you today. Yes, my child, good news. Not the kind of empty promise that fades away with time, but real good news that has already begun to unfold around your life. You may not see the full picture yet, but I see it clearly. I know the doors that are about to open before you. I know the answers that are already forming in ways you cannot yet see. I know the help that is quietly moving toward you even now. For a long time you have been standing in a place of waiting. Waiting can feel lonely, can it not? It can feel like standing in a quiet room where nothing seems to move. You look ahead and see no sign of change. You look behind and remember the prayers you spoke weeks or months ago. You ask yourself if the moment of breakthrough will ever arrive. My child, the waiting season is not the end of your story. It is the place where preparation happens. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were wondering if anything was changing, I was arranging what needed to be arranged. There are things happening in your life right now that you cannot yet see with your eyes, but they are real. I know you have felt discouraged at times. There were days when you wondered if your situation would ever shift. You tried to remain patient, but hope felt fragile in those moments. I saw every one of those moments. I saw the courage it took for you to keep believing even when nothing seemed to move. And now I want you to know that change is closer than you think. The good news I bring you today is that your situation is not frozen. The doors you believed were closed forever are not permanently shut. I am a God who opens doors no one else can open. When I move, circumstances change. When I speak, paths appear where there once seemed to be none. There are doors in front of you that you cannot yet see clearly. Some of those doors will open through opportunities you did not expect. Others will open through people I place in your path at exactly the right time. You may have been looking in one direction, believing the answer would come from there. But my child, sometimes I choose a different path, one you never imagined, so that when the door opens you will know it came from me. I see the needs in your life. I see the areas where you have been searching for answers. Some of your questions are about your future. Some are about the situations you face right now. You have been asking for clarity, for help, for a sign that things are going to move forward again. The good news is that answers are coming. Not every answer arrives in the way people expect. Sometimes the answer comes as new understanding inside your heart. Sometimes it comes through a conversation that changes your direction. Sometimes it comes through an opportunity that appears suddenly, opening a path you had not considered before. But when my answers arrive, they carry peace with them. They bring clarity where confusion once lived. They bring hope where discouragement once stood. My beloved child, I know there were moments when you believed you had to face everything alone. You looked around and wondered who would help you carry the burdens you were facing. You tried to solve things with your own strength, but some situations felt too large for you to control. That is why I want you to hear this good news clearly. Help is on the way. You may not yet know the people who will support you in the next chapter of your life, but I know them. I know where they are. I know the moment when your paths will cross. I know how the conversations will unfold and how the support you need will appear. Sometimes help comes quietly. It may appear in a simple conversation or an unexpected opportunity. Sometimes it arrives through someone who understands your situation better than you expected. Sometimes it comes through a door opening that changes the direction of your life in ways you did not imagine. But when help comes from my hand, it arrives at the right time. You may feel excitement beginning to rise in your heart as you hear these words. That excitement is not misplaced. Hope is returning because your spirit recognizes the truth being spoken to you. The season you have been walking through is shifting. I want you to imagine something for a moment, my child. Imagine standing in a hallway where every door appears closed. You walk forward, trying one door after another, but nothing opens. Eventually you begin to feel tired. You begin to wonder if any door will ever open again. But then, suddenly, one door unlocks. Not because you forced it open, not because you found the perfect key, but because I opened it. Comment, I surrender my dreams to you. Lord, if you've laid your plans at his feet. And share this video. My child, I know you have many things on your mind. I know you may feel tired, distracted, or uncertain. But please stay with me for these next moments. Do not skip what I am about to reveal. There is a reason you are hearing these words right now. You may not understand it yet, but I have guided you here because your heart has been searching for answers. You have asked questions in silence that no one else heard. You have whispered prayers when you thought heaven was quiet. And today I am answering you. Listen to me closely, my beloved. If you leave this message now, you may miss the very word you asked me for. I say this not to frighten you, but because I know how easily the enemy tries to steal what I am giving you. Doubt will try to whisper that this message is not really meant for you. Distraction will try to pull your attention away. But I am asking you now to remain here, to listen with your heart as well as your ears. Because what I am about to speak is deeply personal. You have been waiting for a sign, have you not? You have wondered if I still see you, if I still care, if your prayers still reach me. Perhaps you have asked, Lord, are you listening to me? You know what I am going through. My child, I have heard every word. Not a single prayer you have spoken has been lost. Not a single sigh has escaped my attention. And today, I want you to know that your cries have reached my heart. Last night, when you thought no one noticed your pain, I was there. When your heart felt heavy and your thoughts kept circling through the same worries, I saw you. When tears filled your eyes and you tried to hold them back because you felt tired of being strong, I saw that too. You may have believed that those moments were hidden, that no one knew how deeply you were hurting. But my child, nothing about your pain has ever been hidden from me. I watched as you struggled with thoughts you did not know how to silence. I watched as you tried to find peace but felt surrounded by uncertainty. I saw the way your heart carried burdens that seemed too heavy to explain to anyone else. And when those tears finally fell, when the weight of everything became too much to hold inside, heaven noticed. Your tears reached me. My child, I want you to understand something deeply. Those tears were not a sign of weakness. They were the language of your soul speaking directly to me. Every tear you shed carries meaning, and none of them are wasted. I gather them, I remember them, and I hold them close to my heart. When you cried last night, you were not crying alone. I was there beside you. I felt the pain in your heart as if it were my own. I saw the questions you did not know how to answer. I saw the fears that tried to whisper lies about your future. And in that moment, I made a decision in my heart. I could not remain silent any longer. That is why this message is reaching you now. This is not random timing. This is not chance. This is my response to the cries of your heart. My beloved child, there is something you must remember. Long before you ever experienced these struggles, long before you faced the pain you are carrying today, I already knew your story. I saw every chapter of your life before the world was formed. And even knowing the trials you would face, I chose to love you completely. Do you understand what that means? It means your pain has never surprised me. Your broken moments have never pushed me away. Your doubts have never made me abandon you. I have been walking with you through every step of your journey, even when you could not feel my presence. But there is something even deeper I want you to remember right now. I sacrificed everything for you. My child, those are not empty words. They carry the weight of love beyond what human hearts can fully understand. When the time came for me to give my life so that you could live in freedom, I did not hesitate. I looked at your future, I saw your struggles, I saw your tears, and I still chose the cross. I carried the pain. I endured the suffering. I gave everything, and I did it for you. Type Jesus. I desperately need you if you know He's your only true answer. Sometimes you forget how deeply you are loved. Sometimes the weight of life tries to convince you that you are alone or that you must face everything by yourself. But my child, that is not the truth. The truth is that my love for you has already been proven in the greatest sacrifice that history has ever known. When I stretched out my arms on the cross, I was thinking of you. When I endured the pain and the rejection, I was thinking of you. When I gave my life so that you could have hope and redemption, I was thinking of you. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not insignificant in my eyes. You are the very reason I chose to give everything. And that is why I am speaking to you now with urgency. Do not skip this moment. Do not allow distraction to pull you away from what I am revealing to you. There is something important unfolding in your life, and I want you to hear it clearly. You have spent so much time wondering if I still care about what you are going through. You have wondered if your prayers are still reaching heaven. Let me answer that question right now. Yes, they are. Every prayer you have whispered has reached me. Every cry for help has echoed through heaven. Every moment when you called my name in desperation has touched my heart. And because I love you, I am answering you. My child, I want you to stay here with me for a little longer. Let your heart become still. Let the noise around you fade away for a moment. Because the words I am about to speak are not just encouragement. They are a personal message meant specifically for you. You have felt lost, but I am guiding you. You have felt tired, but I am strengthening you. You have felt forgotten, but I have never stopped watching over you. I know what you have been facing. I know the battles you fight quietly inside your mind. I know the pressure you feel when life seems uncertain and the future feels unclear. But I want you to hear this truth clearly. You are not walking through this season alone. I am here. I have always been here, and I will continue to be here. This message is only the beginning of what I want to reveal to you. But before we go further, I need you to understand something deeply in your heart. You matter to me. Your life matters. Your tears matter. And your prayers have reached my heart. So stay with me, my child. Do not leave this moment too quickly. What I am about to speak next carries the answer your heart has been waiting for, and I want you to receive every word of it. My beloved child, come closer and listen with a quiet place inside your heart. Before the world ever spoke your name, before your first breath filled your lungs, before the eyes of anyone on earth had seen your face, I already knew you. Your life did not begin the moment you entered this world. Your story began long before that moment, long before time unfolded the days you now live in. I saw you before you existed in the natural world. I knew the shape of your heart before it beat for the first time. I understood the depths of your soul before anyone else could even imagine who you would become. You may sometimes wonder why you are here, why your life has taken the turns it has taken, why certain moments brought joy while others brought confusion or pain. You may have asked yourself if your life is simply a series of random events, if the struggles you face are meaningless, or if you somehow arrived in this world by accident. But my child, hear me clearly now. Your life is not random. You are not an accident. You were not forgotten in the vastness of creation. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every part of who you are exists because I intentionally willed it to be so. Before your mother carried you, before anyone spoke your name, I had already formed a plan for you. I saw the life you would live, the seasons you would pass through, the people you would meet, and the dreams that would grow inside your heart. Nothing about you was left to chance. Every detail of your being was crafted with care and purpose. Please support our channel. Our work is devoted to bringing happiness into your life and encouraging devotion to God. If you would like to support us, you can donate through Super Thanks. When I created you, I did not simply form another person among billions. I created a soul that is completely unique, one that carries a purpose no one else can fulfill in exactly the same way. The way you think, the way you feel, the compassion you carry, the questions that rise within your heart, even the sensitivity you sometimes wish you could hide from the world, these are not flaws. They are parts of the design I placed within you. My child, I formed you with intention. I shaped your spirit in the quiet places where human eyes could not see. When your body was still being formed in secret, when your life was just beginning to unfold in ways no one yet understood, I was there. I watched over every detail. I guided every moment of your formation. I knew the sound of your voice before you ever spoke your first word. I knew the dreams that would one day stir within your heart. I knew the fears that would challenge you and the strength that would rise within you to overcome them. You may not always see the purpose in your life, but I see it clearly. Even when the path before you seems uncertain, even when circumstances make you question your direction, nothing about your journey has escaped my sight. Every chapter of your life has meaning, even the ones you struggle to understand. There were moments in your life when you felt lost, when you wondered if anyone truly saw you, when it seemed like your story was unfolding in ways that made little sense. But my beloved child, those moments did not surprise me. I knew they would come long before you experienced them. I knew the days when your heart would feel heavy. I knew the nights when you would lie awake with questions that seemed too big for your mind to answer. Yet even knowing all of this, I chose you. I chose to bring you into this world with love already surrounding your life. I chose to give you a spirit capable of hope, capable of compassion, capable of rising again even when life knocks you down. The struggles you have faced do not erase your purpose. They are not proof that your life is broken or meaningless. Instead, they are part of the journey that is shaping you into the person I always knew you could become. You see, my child, heaven already knew your story before it began. Before the earth carried your footsteps, before the world heard your laughter or witnessed your tears, your life was already known in the heart of heaven. I saw the beginning, the middle, and the end of your journey all at once. And still, I called you into existence. There is a reason for that. You are deeply loved. You are deeply chosen. And nothing about you is a mistake. The world may sometimes try to convince you otherwise. There will be voices that tell you that you are not enough, that you do not belong, that you are simply another person trying to survive in a complicated world. But those voices do not speak the truth about you. They do not understand the sacred design I placed within your life. I did not create you to wander without meaning. I did not breathe life into your soul so that you would live unnoticed or unloved. I created you with purpose woven into every part of who you are. Even the things you struggle with, the emotions you feel deeply, the sensitivity you sometimes wish you could hide, the questions that make you search for answers, these are part of the story I am writing through your life. You are not weak because you feel deeply. You are not broken because you have faced hardship. You are not lost simply because the path ahead feels unclear. You are becoming. Every moment of your life is shaping the person you are meant to be. Even the struggles you have experienced were known to me before they ever reached your life. I knew there would be seasons when your faith would be tested, when your patience would stretch beyond what you thought possible, when your heart would ache for answers. But I also knew the strength that would grow within you through those seasons. My beloved child, nothing about your life has ever been outside of my sight. When you were born, heaven did not simply observe your arrival as another moment in history. Heaven celebrated you. Your life mattered from the very beginning, and it still matters now. Even when you feel unnoticed by others, even when the world seems too busy to see the quiet battles you are fighting, I see you. I always have. Your story is known in heaven. Your life carries meaning beyond what you can currently understand. There is a place in this world that only you can fill. There are lives you will touch in ways you may never fully realize. There are moments ahead of you that will reveal why your journey unfolded exactly the way it did. You may not see it all now, but my child, your life is not an unfinished accident. It is a carefully written story still being revealed. And I want you to hold on to this truth today. You belong. You belong in this world because I created you for it. You belong in my heart because my love for you existed before you ever opened your eyes. You belong in the story of redemption I am unfolding across generations, because your life is part of something far greater than you can see right now. When doubt tries to whisper that you are insignificant, remember this moment. Remember that the same God who created the heavens and the earth also created you. The same hands that shaped the mountains also shaped your soul. You are not forgotten. You are not random. You are not alone, you are known. You are chosen. And before you were ever born, before the world ever heard your name, I already loved you with a love that has never faded and never will. My beloved child, there are moments in your life that you believe no one has seen. There are nights when the world around you is quiet, when the lights are dim and the voices of others fade away, and you are left alone with the weight inside your heart. In those moments, you may have felt as though your pain existed in complete silence, as though the tears you tried to hide were falling into a darkness that no one could reach. But I want you to hear this truth clearly now, because it is something your heart needs to understand. I saw every single tear you thought was hidden. There were nights when you lay awake long after everyone else had fallen asleep. Your mind kept replaying the worries, the questions, the memories that refused to leave you in peace. You tried to quiet your thoughts. You tried to convince yourself that everything would somehow work out, yet the heaviness in your chest would not disappear. You stared into the darkness of the room, wondering why life felt so heavy, wondering why the answers you were searching for seemed so far away. In those quiet hours when you thought you were alone, I was there with you. I saw the moment when your eyes filled with tears even though you tried to be strong. I saw the way you wiped them away quickly, as if hiding them could somehow make the pain less real. I saw the questions forming in your mind as you asked, sometimes with words and sometimes only within your thoughts, Lord, why does this feel so hard? Why does it feel like I am carrying more than I can bear? Those questions did not disappear into emptiness. Every one of them reached me. My child, There were nights when your heart felt lonely in ways you did not know how to explain to anyone else. Perhaps you were surrounded by people during the day, speaking and smiling as if everything was normal, yet when the night came and silence filled the room, the loneliness became louder than any noise around you. You may have wondered if anyone truly understood what you were feeling. You may have wondered if anyone saw the quiet battles you were fighting within your heart. But I saw them. I saw the moment when your strength began to fade and your shoulders felt heavy from carrying so much inside. I saw the nights when you whispered prayer so softly that you were not even sure if the words had truly left your lips. Sometimes your prayers were not even full sentences. Sometimes they were only a sigh, a whisper of my name, or a simple cry from the depths of your soul asking for help. My beloved child, those prayers were heard. Even when you thought heaven was silent, I was listening to every word. I heard the way your voice trembled when you asked if things would ever change. I heard the confusion in your heart when life seemed unfair or unclear. I heard the moments when your faith felt tired and you wondered if your prayers were reaching beyond the ceiling above you. Comment, I live and breathe for you, Christ, if your life rests safely in His hands. Let me tell you something that your heart needs to receive right now. Not a single tear you have shed hath been unnoticed. Not a single cry hath been ignored. Every tear that fell from your eyes was seen by me, and every drop carried meaning that I understood completely. When those tears touched your pillow at night, they were not falling into emptiness. I was there beside you in those moments, closer than you realized. I saw the pain behind those tears, the questions you could not answer, the fears you tried to silence. Your sorrow did not make you invisible to me. In fact, in those moments of vulnerability, your heart was speaking to me more honestly than ever before. There were times when you felt abandoned. There were moments when the silence around you made it seem as though no one was responding to the cries of your heart. You may have looked at your situation and wondered if I had turned away, if I had somehow forgotten about the struggles you were facing. The enemy tried to plant those thoughts in your mind, whispering that your pain was proof that you were alone. But my child, that has never been the truth. I was there every moment. Even when you could not feel my presence, I was watching over you with love that has never weakened. I saw you when you sat quietly with your thoughts, trying to make sense of everything that was happening. I saw you when you tried to hold your emotions together during the day, only for them to spill out when the night came and there was no one else around. Your loneliness never pushed me away. Your broken moments never caused me to leave. Instead, those were the very moments when my heart was closest to yours. My beloved child, I understand the weight you have been carrying. I understand the disappointment that sometimes settles into your spirit when life does not unfold the way you hoped it would. I understand the exhaustion that comes from trying to remain strong when your heart feels fragile. But you must understand something now. Your tears were not wasted. Your pain has not been ignored. Every tear you shed hath been collected and remembered. They have become part of your story, a story that I have been walking through with you from the beginning. You may not see the full meaning of your journey yet, but I see it clearly. The nights when you cried were not signs of failure. They were moments when your soul was reaching out to me, moments when your heart was searching for comfort and truth in the middle of confusion. And I responded, even when you could not see it. There were moments when peace touched your heart unexpectedly, even if only for a short while. There were moments when strength returned to you even though you felt like giving up. Those moments were not accidents. They were reminders of my presence working quietly in your life. You have survived things you once thought would break you completely. You have continued walking forward even when your strength felt small. That resilience within you did not appear by chance. I was there, sustaining you in ways you could not always recognize. My child, your loneliness has never defined you. Your pain has never erased the love I have for you, and your tears have never been invisible in my sight. You are deeply seen. You are deeply understood. You are deeply loved. When you cried, I was there. When you questioned everything, I was there. When you wondered if anyone cared, I was there. And I am still here now. The nights of sorrow you have experienced are not the end of your story. They are chapters that will one day make sense in ways you cannot yet see. Your tears have not only been witnessed by heaven, they have also been part of shaping the strength that is growing within your heart. So do not believe the lie that you were ever alone. Do not believe the voice that says your pain was unseen or unimportant. I have walked with you through every dark moment, and I will continue to walk with you through every step that lies ahead. My beloved child, the tears you thought were hidden have always been known to me. And even now, as you listen to these words, I want you to feel the comfort of this truth settling into your heart. You were never crying alone. I was there every moment. My beloved child, there is something about your life that you have struggled to understand. You have looked back at certain moments and wondered why they had to happen. You have asked yourself why the road became so difficult, why the people you trusted sometimes hurt you, why the doors you prayed for remained closed, and why some seasons felt so heavy that you questioned how much longer you could endure them. In those moments, it may have seemed as though your pain had no meaning, as though the struggles you faced were simply unfair chapters written into your life without purpose. But my child, I want you to understand something that is deeper than what your eyes have been able to see. None of your pain has ever been meaningless. Every moment you have lived, even the painful ones, has been part of a process that I have been using to shape your heart and prepare your spirit. I know there were times when you felt betrayed, when someone you trusted broke the confidence you placed in them. The betrayal cut deeply because you gave your loyalty sincerely. You did not expect the wound that followed, and when it happened, you questioned how someone you cared about could cause such hurt. In those moments, the pain felt sharp and confusing. It made you wonder if trusting people was worth the risk. But even in those moments of betrayal, I was not absent from your life. I was watching, not with indifference, but with understanding. Betrayal does something painful but powerful inside the human heart. It exposes the fragile places where we place our trust. Through those experiences, I was teaching you discernment, strengthening your wisdom, and showing you that while people may fail you, my faithfulness never does. The pain of betrayal refined your heart so that you would not build your future on the unstable promises of others, but on the unchanging foundation of my love. There were also moments of rejection that left marks on your spirit. Perhaps someone overlooked your effort, dismissed your value, or walked away when you hoped they would stay. Rejection can feel like a quiet storm that shakes your sense of worth. It whispers questions that echo in your mind, making you wonder if you were somehow not enough. In those moments, you may have questioned your identity, wondering why doors seemed to close when you longed for acceptance. But my beloved child, rejection is not the measure of your value. When the world rejected you, I did not turn away. In fact, those moments were shaping something important within your character. Rejection often removes the places where your identity could have become dependent on human approval. It pushes you to discover a deeper truth about who you are, a truth that is not defined by the opinions of others, but by the love I have placed over your life. Through those difficult experiences, your spirit has been learning to stand with strength that does not depend on the applause or acceptance of people. You have also faced seasons when your prayers seemed delayed. There were things you asked for with sincerity, things you believed with faith, things you hoped would change your life or ease your burdens. You prayed, you waited, and yet the answers did not come when you expected them. Those delays may have left you feeling confused or discouraged. You may have wondered if I heard your prayers at all. But my child, delayed prayers are not forgotten prayers. They are often part of preparation that you cannot yet see. When you pray for something with urgency, you often focus on the outcome you desire, but I see the entire path that leads to that moment. Sometimes what you ask for requires preparation within your heart, within your circumstances, or within the lives of others around you. If I answered every prayer immediately, some blessings would arrive before you were ready to carry them. Those seasons of waiting were shaping patience, resilience, and trust within your spirit. They were teaching you to rely on my wisdom rather than your own understanding. Waiting has not been easy for you, I know that. But it has been refining your heart in ways that will allow you to receive what I have prepared without losing the strength you have gained along the way. And then there were the hard seasons, the long stretches of time when life felt heavy and progress seemed slow. These were the days when you felt as though you were simply trying to endure, when you questioned whether things would ever improve. In those seasons, it may have seemed as though you were walking through a valley without a clear path forward. Yet even those difficult periods had purpose. Hard seasons reveal the depth of your faith. They expose the parts of your spirit that need strengthening and bring hidden resilience to the surface. When life is comfortable, the deeper layers of character often remain untouched. But when challenges arise, something powerful begins to grow within you. Endurance is formed. Courage develops. Faith becomes more than words, it becomes the strength that carries you through uncertainty. My beloved child, the trials you have faced were not punishments. They were preparation. They were refining your spirit the way fire refines gold. When gold is placed in fire, the heat does not destroy it. Instead, the fire removes the impurities that weaken its purity, leaving behind something stronger and more valuable than before. Your life has been going through a similar process. The betrayal, the rejection, the delayed answers, and the difficult seasons have all been part of shaping the person you are becoming. They have deepened your compassion, strengthened your resilience, and expanded your understanding of others who are hurting. Because of the trials you have faced, your heart has learned to see pain with empathy rather than judgment. You understand struggles that others may overlook, and that understanding is a gift that will allow you to bring light into places of darkness. There is also something else you must understand about your pain. The very experiences that once made you feel weak are becoming sources of strength for others. The story of your life will one day bring encouragement to people who are walking through the same valleys you once crossed. They will see your journey and realize that hope is still possible even when life feels overwhelming. Nothing you have endured has been wasted. Every tear, every moment of doubt, every trial that tested your spirit has been shaping the story I am writing through your life. The person you are becoming carries strength that could not have been formed without those experiences. My beloved child, pain often feels meaningless when you are standing in the middle of it. But when you step back and see the full picture of your journey, you will begin to understand how those moments were transforming you from within. What once felt like broken chapters will become the very pages that reveal your growth, your courage, and your faith. So do not look at your past with only sorrow. Look at it with understanding. The pain you experienced was not the end of your story. It was the process that prepared your heart for the purpose that lies ahead. Your trials have not destroyed you. They have refined you. And the strength that now lives within your spirit is proof that even the hardest moments of your life have been working towards something greater than you could see at the time. My beloved child, draw near and listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is the deepest expression of my love for you. There are many things you have experienced in your life that have made you question your worth. There have been moments when you wondered if anyone truly cared for you in the way your heart longs to be loved. But I want you to understand something that stands above every doubt and every fear that has ever entered your mind. The love I have for you is not distant, and it is not weak. It is a love that chose sacrifice. It is a love that endured suffering. It is a love that carried the weight of the cross so that you could live in freedom. My child, when you think about the cross, you may see it as a symbol, something spoken about in churches or written in sacred stories. But for me, the cross was not a symbol. It was a moment of deep pain, a moment when love chose to give everything so that you would never have to face eternity without hope. The suffering I endured was real. The weight of the cross was heavy. The wounds were not imagined. Every step I took toward that hill carried the knowledge that I was doing it for you. Before the world saw me walk that path, I already knew the pain that awaited me. I knew the betrayal that would come from someone I trusted. I knew the rejection that would follow from those who once listened to my words. I knew that the crowd would shout against me, that the hands I came to heal would raise stones and accusations. Yet even knowing all of that, I did not turn away. I continued walking toward the cross because my love for you was greater than the suffering that lay ahead. My beloved child, when the night grew dark and the weight of what was coming pressed against my soul, I still thought of you. I saw your life before you were even born. I saw the struggles you would face, the tears you would cry, the moments when you would feel lost and wonder if anyone truly understood your pain. And in that moment, I chose to endure what was necessary so that your story would not end in despair. The road to the cross was not easy. The pain began long before the nails touched my hands. I was mocked by voices that refused to see the truth. I was abandoned by many who once walked beside me. The crown placed on my head was not made of honor but of thorns that pierced deeply into my skin. Each step carried the weight of humanity's brokenness. Yet through all of it, love remained stronger than pain. Type heaven is my forever home if your eyes stay fixed on eternity's